everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Miami Comedy Podcast. Manny Garavito going live once again as we bring together the community for 10 days of dating advice. So far, we're on day, not on day 9, but the countdown is currently at 9. And I don't know if you guys enjoyed last night's presentation, but we went in on some dating advice, my friends. We went into things like emotions. We went into things like sex. I mean, when it comes to dating, there's always room for sex. We went in on developing yourself. Some people went out with some great tips and advice. So we're going to do it again. All right. And today I wanted to make this episode about communication, things like flirting, verbal sparring. But first and foremost, I just want to say thank you all for coming out. Thank you. Wow. So kind. Thank you. All right, what's up, everybody? Manny Martinez now. Wow, pretty present there, Manny. Manny Martinez right now. One of the smartest guys I know, and it also has a very sexy name, I must say. Libby P. Good title, Hazel Drop. JG Sobe. What's up, guys? Lizzie Gaines. Hey, everybody. Gypsy Moon, Vape and Brews. What's up? All right, so let me ask you guys a question that was probably not answered by anybody in their own minds when we were talking about it. But I asked, after sex, all right, once the ladies have sex with someone or once the guys have sex with someone, what is left? And I want you guys to ask yourself this question and really try to find the answer. Let's say you find somebody attractive. You go on a date. You're trying to do the little back and forth flirting. You have sex. Now what? Nothing. That's the problem with the dating life these days. There's nothing going on apart from trying to get in the sheets, right? And making sweet love. So on this episode, I want to show you guys some, hold on, let me get my emails out of here so you guys can't hear any notifications because I'm a busy man. People are always trying to get a hold of me. Jess, what's up? Hey, for those that are just tuning in now, apart from sex, when you're going out dating, what else is left? And really ask yourself that question. Candy Lace. So here's the thing, guys. When it comes to dating, of course, it's normal to want to have sex, right? It's normal. That's probably the biggest payoff, but that's short-term payoff. What's the long-term payoff? I want another notch on my belt. I want another contact on my little black book. I want somebody to text when I'm drunk and alone. Good title. Hella's drop says, connection, man, resin, you had the sex. Yeah, but who wants to stick around for the connection? You know what I'm saying? Who wants to actually go out of their way and make a connection? I don't. I actually get freaked out. Maybe it's my own little battle that I have to go through. But if a girl like tries to push a relationship on me, I get terrified. That's scary. That's a little psychopathic, actually. We just had sex one time and you want to get in a relationship. What? Scary, right? What's up, Immacula? And so here's a little tidbit that I'll share with you guys that I believe may be one of the biggest differentiating factors in building attraction, apart from just going out and dating. Learn to communicate. Like really learn. In the comedy world, there's this thing called discovering your comedic voice, right? Like discovering the inner voice you have as a comedian. I don't think that is just limited to comedians alone. I think this goes to anybody. Like you got to discover the voice that you use to communicate with people and to get certain outcomes or results with said voice. Okay. So there's people that sing, they practice using their vocal cords and their breathing. People that do comedy, they practice their timing, their delivery, their ability to read the audience, right? These are just specific skills that people who use their voice that they practice to master, okay? But it's not just limited to performers, guys, okay? What's up, Danny? It's not, using your voice is not just specific to performers. Using your voice is every fucking day, okay? You've got your persuasive voice. I don't really think that's a good idea. And if I were to give you some sort of feedback as to why you shouldn't do that, is because, see, that's persuasive. At least I hope it is. All right. Then there's, hey, fuck off, right? That's anger, right? Like, let's say you're in traffic. That's I want to show you that I'm a threat from the safety of my driver's seat. Right. So the same thing goes for dating, or rather talking to someone you're attracted to. Or if you just want to become attractive to the to whoever you like dating, whether it's opposite sex, same sex, not going to judge. Okay, this is a judge-free podcast. But your voice, okay, when you go out and you talk to people, it can help you open the gates of things like witty banter or things like pillow talk, right? Like you'll know when the right timing is to say a little something romantic in her ear. Yo, you're looking real nice, Ma. I like that outfit. I just gave you guys a little preview of my whispering talk. You looking real good there, Mom. Thank God you wore your flip-flops today because I like seeing those toes. You know what I'm saying? Not a toe guy for some reason that just came out. Freudian slip. Who knows? I don't know. But when it comes to communicating and dating, it's probably the biggest differentiator from anyone else that you can meet, because the way someone communicates is their own. That's like their own identity. Like the way you use your voice and the way you communicate, the way you say things, and it doesn't just have to be your voice. It can also be the way you communicate online. Okay, yeah, I did that one for you. You call your lady mom, that because the issue that may be the issue, but no, I didn't say lady mom. I was talking about toes, but that would be funny if I did. Hey, yo. Oh, you mean ma, M-A, ma? Oh, yeah. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, I do. But I say it funny. I don't mean it in a sexual way. Like I never go up and like say ma without it being like somewhat humorous, because I hear the rappers say it. Yo, ma was looking real nice. But I don't say it. It's like, please be like my mother. Oh, she brings out the best in me. I'm a feet woman. Yeah, I know. I think that's why I said it, Immaculate. I think the first example that came to mind was feet, because you were on the chat and I was like, I know somebody out there is into this, but I digress. So the way you communicate online can also be a very particular thing about you. People like, if you learn how to communicate with your inner voice, like who you are, it's almost like this essence that you have as a person. Okay. And then that essence, it translates to communication. So whether it's, writing a status update, like, hey, I'm looking for an accountant. Anybody out there know a good accountant? I've been looking around and I can't seem to find one. Hell, I'll take a shady one. Maybe somebody that could save me some few dollars in my taxes. Like, so instead of and I kind of went the long route there, but I'm just trying to point out if somebody were to go on Facebook and say, I'm looking for accountant referrals, period. Right. And then instead they would say something like, I'm looking for an accountant, any accountant at this point, maybe even a shady one, someone who could save me tax dollars, period. And then, so what I'm trying to say is, like, the way you communicate is the biggest way to people see the difference in you apart from everybody else. So like if you're on a date and the girl's sitting right in front of you, and the way you're talking to her, it could be like playful banter. It could be like a sparring. So for example, like I love busting balls, man. Like whenever I go on a date, I hear good things about bench.com. You changing the subject there, Manny? Yeah, bench.co, not .com. Bench.co. Manny over here is talking professional. Shout out to Manny Martinez, who is a great coach in my network. Thanks for joining us, Manny. What's up, Walter? Okay, so one of the things I enjoy doing, guys, is playful banter, like a little back and forth sparring. So the way I communicate it is as follows. I try to find a way to, no, it's all good. So polite, Manny. I try to find a way to kind of like go on guard, right? Like on guard, right? Do a little repartee, as they would say, right? I like a little verbal sparring because it's almost like foreplay for me. Because I like to see, like, what's your sense of humor like? Are you sarcastic? Can you pick up on sarcasm? Do you get angry easy? I like kind of like finding the boundaries and like pushing it a little bit. Maybe someone is different. Maybe somebody likes to, get a little more poetic. It's like, what's your favorite part of the day? Oh, well, I love the mornings. What is it about the mornings that you like? Well, I love the sunshine. I mean, when you go outside and there's not a cloud in the sky. So that's like poetic way of talking. And then that way you can communicate kind of like this flirtatious, are we on the same page kind of vibe? You know what I mean? There's also people that like to communicate sex, you know, right off the bat. Nice toes. Nice toes, ma. I want you to wear open toe shoes from here on out. There will be a second date, right? Yeah. Okay. So here's what I do when it comes to dating, and I highly recommend anybody pick up on this, is try to get the person on the phone. Here's probably the best way, if you're single and you're out in the dating world, here's probably the best way to make sure that you're going to get with a really good person before you even meet them face to face. Well, this is of course if you do online dating, or if you meet somebody in person, you hang out and then you get the number. Go immediately to the phone, whether it's online or whether it's over off Tinder. Get her number immediately. Okay. And ladies, I would recommend this too. I know you ladies have your own way of doing the dating thing, but I recommend you go on the phone and make the first date a phone date. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're on the phone with someone and you make that a date, the entire event, the entire date is you talking to each other. Phone calls are so underrated, especially in today's world. Like right now in today's world, we do that back and forth texting thing. And you know, when it comes to texting back and forth with someone that you might find as a potential date, it gets lost in translation. You can send as many emojis as you want, but it's never as specific or as robust as you using your voice and enunciating words and being sarcastic, right? There's no font for sarcasm. So when you get on the phone and you say, hey, let's do a phone date. Okay. Let's do a phone date. Date number one. Let's go on the phone and talk for 30 minutes to an hour, right? And you just talk it up and you just see what the other person is like. What do you do? Where are you from? And then that way, when you meet face to face, it's not an awkward interview because you already did it on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Dude, here's what I do. All right. I'm going to tell you guys my game real quick. Well, before I get into that, let's get into the sponsors. All right. Before I give you guys some game, some Manny G game. All right. This show is sponsored by LU Venus, who is a badass health insurance agent, helping individuals, families, small business owners find the health plan they need, whether it be Medicare, Medicaid, group plans, ACA, Obamacare. If you've got health insurance questions, he's got health insurance answers. Reach out to him, LU Venus. That's ELIU.VINAS at USHadvisors.com. Thank you, LU. And happy Valentine's to you and the wifey. Okay, so here's the game. Here's what I do, guys. So I go on Tinder, right? I match up. And immediately after I match, I just introduce myself, right? Like it's face to face. I go, hey, what's up? I'm Manny. Right. And I just see what her reaction is. And the reason why I wait to see what that reaction is because my profile clearly says my name. All right. So it's almost like I set up a little, I wouldn't say trap, but maybe like a little premeditated way of communicating with her. So I say, hey, what's up? The name's Manny. And so some might say, yeah, I can see that. Some might say, hi, Manny, I'm Brittany. Or some might say, some might just even unmatch because they saw the obvious, like this guy's an idiot. Or some might say, is it really your name? So when you say something like that, it's almost as if you leave the doors open to be like, what would you say if I were to give you an obvious answer like my name is Manny when you can see it on my profile? All right, so that's one. And then based on her response, I can already get a feel for who she is as a person. Okay, so that's one. And that's good game. I think this would work for both men and women. So women, you could try it too. You know, you match with someone. He says hi or says something like, hey, I'm Stephanie. What's up? Yeah, I could see that, Stephanie. I mean, what else you got to, right? And then you can kind of feel it. All right, so next thing you do is you ask her, what are you doing? Like, what are you up to? Okay. So some might see what are you doing or what are you up to as like a sexual innuendo. Others might see that as a way of saying, are you working now? What's your schedule like? Some might see it as like, are you busy? Can you talk to me? Okay, so you see how like when you just put certain phrases in the beginning of a Tinder match, you get different responses. And then with those responses, you can see how they communicate. All right. Do they get angry? Do they get frustrated? Do they not respond for days? All that shit allows you to kind of get a feel for who they are as a person. All right. The next up is if they tell you, you know, what I'm off, I'm at work. All right, when do you get off work? I get off at certain so and so times. Like, all right, let's go on a date sometime since Tinder says we match, right? Like, and then you ask for her number. Okay, so you get on the phone and you say, I'll call you in 5 minutes. Oh no, I can't. I'm stuck in traffic. All right, when can I call you? Okay, you can call me then. And you call, and you know what? I'd say roughly 7 to 8 times out of 10, they are in shock that you had the audacity to pick up the phone and actually call somebody. What up, Warmington? Tyler Field, what's up? Tabenis. Yeah, nobody really calls nobody these days, especially when it comes to dating. I think it's almost as if it's a lost art. Don't lose it. It's the best thing you can do in the dating world. You give them a call. You have a little back and forth, right? If you can do the phone date right then and there, do it. But if she doesn't have the time, schedule it for another time. Be like, oh yeah, you know, I gotta go. It's like, all right, well, let's talk on the phone again. When can I call you again? Oh, well, you know, this week is busy. Just call me, you know, on the weekends. I'm like, all right, I'll call you. And then make sure you're specific. Oh yeah, that's actually a good one. Being specific on time and date, extremely important. Extremely important. Time and date, extremely important. Because if you leave it vague, it's lost in translation, and then you probably never might even, you know, it kind of like falls through the cracks or whatever. So he says, all right, call me in the weekend. I'd be like, all right, how's Saturday at 3 p.m. ish, right? You kind of make it a little playful. And you call her on the dot, 3 o'clock. It's like, wow, you're punctual, or you actually called again. And you go, yeah, I was serious about the phone date. And then there you go, guys, you're in. And then, you know, if you guys hit it off on the phone, you can then go and go on an actual date because the communication is there. If she can't get on the phone, and a lot of girls, and I'm just talking, again, most of these dating advice is going to come from a guy, so apologies in advance. But if she doesn't talk on the phone, she's probably going to be looking at her phone while you're taking her out on a date. She's probably like the awkward silent type. Like, I saw a meme that says when you put on makeup and you do your hair and you put on a nice outfit, to be awkward and stare at your phone the whole time. Yeah, you want to get with people that are good communicators too, because the ones that aren't good communicators, the silent type, not a lot of fun to be around. And let me tell you that, yeah, those are kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, if somebody goes out and doesn't do much talking, or like you try talking to them and they're like, yeah, I mean, one time, sure. Okay, if you want to, like, those people, fuck that, right? If you do it on the phone and you talk to them and they're kind of like not really communicative in nature, save yourself time and money and don't do that date, because it's like pulling fucking teeth. Oh my God. Can you say something else? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? There's nothing much I could say. I mean, we're out. I mean, having a good time, whatever, you know. Oh man, awful. So when you get on the phone, you already can tell what kind of a person she is. All right. Or he is. All right. So ladies, use the phone. Date number one, use the phone and try to get a feel for who that person is as an individual. Okay. So let me get into some more of the game I use when I meet girls for the first time on a date, right? So one thing I would recommend is, guys, sense of humor is probably the best thing that you can develop in your dating life. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a comedian, like, you know, on stage, or like a lot of people kind of confuse that comedians are people who put themselves in the spotlight. It's not necessarily true. If you actively try to seek laughs, right, you're a comedian by nature. You know, so I met somebody the other day that tells me, oh, you know, I used to do YouTube videos, but I don't see myself as a comedian, even though people thought I was funny, even though they thought my videos were funny. Well, and it's like, well, if you're creating comedy, that makes you a comedian by default. Like, you don't got to go to a university to become a comedian. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's no certificate on the wall. It's like, you're not fucking funny. Oh, yeah? Look over there. You see that certificate? Comedy school. All right? Even though I hear there is a clown school. Yeah, be really good at getting in touch with your sense of humor, because apart from sex, back and forth, like a really good communication is like another level of attraction. It's like a little higher, like having a really good conversation with someone, like a really intimate, fun, funny. It's almost as if that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize about dating, that a conversation is super sexy and it's super beneficial for people as individuals, right? Because you could be talking about things that may interest you, or you could be talking about things that you need help with, or it could be you could be talking about things of information that you need to come across in order to develop yourself or to solve something in your life. And so a lot of people take for granted the power of communicating with someone in the dating scenario. All right. And if you look past the sex, like let's say if you have a really good conversation with someone and then you have sex with them, most likely after the sex, you're still going to be attracted to them because you've developed a relationship through that conversation. All right. And one of the best ways that I know for a fact is be funny. Because if you can make somebody laugh and they get your sense of humor, when somebody gets your sense of humor, it's almost as if you both are connected somehow. You got your little inside joke, right? You're laughing at shit. You can people watch and laugh at people, right? There's certain kind of comedians you can go watch together, right? Because if you can connect to your sense of humor, man, your relationship is already on its way. All right. Hey, I'm going to go see so-and-so comedian. I hate that comedian. Why do you like him so much? You know what, sweetheart? This ain't going to work out. If we can't laugh together, we can't be together. All right. So don't take for granted conversations. And then on top of that, be funny within those conversations, because verbal sparring can be one of the biggest ways for you to become extremely attractive. Verbal sparring, because it's not only you're challenging, it's not only you're fun, but you also keep them on their toes when you do verbal sparring. You're like, oh, what have you got for me today? Huh? What do you got? So verbal sparring, good conversations, intimacy can be developed extremely well when it comes to communication. Work on the playful ways of communicating, because that will keep things going after sex. All right. It's so taken for granted. So learn to be funny. Learn to make people laugh. It doesn't have to be like, hey, I got a joke. It could be, and you know what else? I've talked about this before on the podcast. You know, if you've got a good sense of humor, it's almost as if the environment around you changes, because not a lot of people are like tense, right? Dating can be tense, right? Be a little awkward. You could be like, hey, how are you? You know, that whole thing. If you're in touch with your sense of humor, man, you can crush that ice, not just break it, crush that shit. And then you can make a little, martini out of it, because you're both enjoying the tension together. Right? Tension, release, tension, release, tension, release. That's a lot of fun, right? Tension prolonged is not a lot of fun. So when you're in touch with your sense of humor, you can feel the tension. And if he or she matches that same sense of humor you have, you both can sense it at the same time and alleviate it at the same time. Oh shit! I almost knocked out. Fuck. Testing. Oh fuck! Hang on. Got a little too excited. There we go. All right. So there you go, guys. That's good game right there. Communication is key to make your dating life better, both in the beginning, right? Getting them on the phone, having a conversation, and after, right? After you have sex, how do you keep the attraction going? Verbal sparring, having fun, laughing at stuff together, sharing a sense of humor. There you go, guys. That's the game for today. As we continue the 10 days of dating advice with Manny G. And why are we doing 10 days? Because February 14th, Valentine's Day, is coming up. All right. So as you can see the flyer behind me, Cupids of Comedy, Sunday, February 14th, 7 to 8:30 p.m. with my good friend Brittany Brave. Very funny. All right, all the way from New York, has also experience in the virtual event space. We're going to be getting together with the ladies and the gents, and we're going to be talking about your dating life. I know you've got funny stories to share. I know you do. And best of all, it's donation based. All right, whatever you guys want to pitch in to get in on the Zoom call, it's just for fun. All right, I'm just doing this to have fun and to bring us together. Go to cupidsofcomedy.com. Join us. It's only an hour and a half. Bring your friends. Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Have a great night, everybody.